Now we will show you how to do a transport. So always first, after assessing the patient whether he is fit for transport, again like proning, whatever things which are not necessary, you can disconnect that things. Okay. Then take the patients on a stretcher. You always try to make the patient as a one piece rather than taking the patient and the ECMO trolley separately is going to be difficult because difficult to manage both the things together. So always try to make the patient as a one piece so that the disconnection and decannulation does not take place. Okay. So first is put the stretcher by tilting the patient on one side first and then other side next. Okay. Now in this machine, because it is Meadows machine, you have liberty of taking only the battery out and the extra motor drive out. But I will just show you how to take it along with the machine. So first, first is to put the stretcher, assess the tube length, disconnect whatever is not required, or disconnect all pressure lines. Okay, P1, P2, P3, because that is not required now while we are transporting the patient. So disconnect that P1, P2, P3 line. Disconnect the heater cooler unit from the oxygenator because that is again not required when you are transporting the patient. So you can disconnect it for time being. Okay. So try to make things more and more simpler and minimize the things whatever you want to, what you need to carry. Okay. Take the patient on transport ventilator. Remember, you have to save the power, you have to save the oxygen. So while the disconnection of plug, the electricity and oxygen should be done in the last when you are about to shift the patient so that you can minimize the loss and you can have that adequately. Okay. Okay. Take the patient on the transport ventilator, connect the transport monitor. Okay. Keep the once everything is ready, disconnect the blender and put the oxygen to the oxygen cylinder. But that should be at the last step, okay, so that you don't waste too much of oxygen in the shifting or the patient here. I am just showing you how to take this machine. Okay. Okay. Just keep the console beside the patient's leg or in between the patient's leg. Okay. While doing that, somebody has to keep a watch on the parameters, hemodynamic parameters. Somebody has to keep a watch on ECMO parameters. Okay. Hold the tube, everything, so that it doesn't get pulled out. Okay. So we are disconnecting the heater cooler unit now. Okay. Fine. Look at the circuit length. One person has to hold the neck cannula. Okay. एक मिनट यहाँ से तो कोई पकड़ो, ये तो पकड़ो. Okay. 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 The most important steps here, what is important is you might get the tube get kinked, the flow can come down, you can get resaturation, you can have a hypovolemia because of third flow, the flow shifting and the flow fluctuation. You might get hypertensive response, especially if the patient is not been sedated before taking the patients to this. So these are all important things that you need to keep in mind. Once you're done, wait for 2 minutes again on the stretcher, see how the flow is, how the patient parameters are. Okay, so there is some kink here, you are not able to see the flow, which is 0.3. Okay. Okay, so there was a kink somewhere in the while at the railing, so you have to be mindful about all this, and then you can shift the patient. Take the patient to wherever you want for CT scan or something. See to it that all the passages and everything has been previously informed and kept it clear. The department is ready to take your patient immediately so that you don't waste time there. Once you reach there, again go back to the power supply. So connect the power supply and connect the oxygen source to the destination place immediately so that you can save further power and oxygen. And then once you again reverse is same. Once you come back, okay, take the patient. Okay. After taking the patient first, okay, immediately connect it to the power supply and connect it to the oxygen so that you don't waste it again. Look at the hemodynamic stability and go back to the previous settings. So that is the way you have to do.